What's up guys, it's me LKP. So today we've got a little bit of a different video for you guys. So a while back I actually decided that I was going to go into a few casual games and try and see if I could improve myself basically by looking at my own sensitivity and looking at my reaction speed. So I turned on my Elgato and I basically recorded a Team Fiesta match. Now normally when the Elgatos on I don't actually perform too well, however I did really well in this game and I decided, you know what, if I'm going to be reviewing it for myself I might actually share it with you guys, so hopefully you guys can learn a little bit about how I play and maybe you could improve the way that you guys play as well. So yeah, this video is mostly going to be me reacting to my own gameplay and saying what I'm doing and how I'm reacting, how I'm moving around the map. So if you're interested in that stuff to kind of better yourself as a player, then yeah, this is something for you to watch. With that said and done, let's get into the video. So yeah, this was a Fiesta match, a Team Fiesta match on Shrine. Shrine is one of my favourite maps when it comes down to H2A. It's got a lot of great things about it. But yeah, loading into the game, I was more or less thinking, how am I going to be able to test myself? How can I look at my sensitivity? Is it the right sensitivity? And you actually see me, I spawn with the battle rifle and fuel rod, and you see me looking from side to side. Now this seems to be just like a random thing which I'm doing, but the reason why I'm looking side to side is actually to test my sensitivity. So just going back to look at this is really not helping with your sensitivity. A lot of people try and look side to side to see if they can actually test it, and it really does not help. When you are using a controller you have magnetism, so looking side to side it's not going to do anything. You really need to see if you can look at an opponent and lock onto them with enough speed. So far we haven't really seen any enemies, but straight on the radar, if you pause here, yeah, we can see that we've actually got 2 enemies on the radar. So looking at the radar, I know where they are. I've positioned myself into a location where if somebody goes through this underground bridge, I can get a kill. I've basically set myself up to get a kill here, so that's positioning. I've looked up, I've gone to, I've used the radar to find out where I can get a kill. Now the opponent doesn't actually go to that point, he rotates around. So let's actually get this back a sec. Let's actually look at this because this happens quite quick. Okay, so from this point on, I can still see somebody on the radar. There's technically someone else who I can see on the left side of me, but they're too far away. I didn't even notice them at the time. So I see, right at this point, I see that there's an elite. I've got my target locked on from the radar. I know where the other guy is, but I know that that elite isn't looking towards me. He's moving around. He could rotate around and see me. But basically, I can get the drop on that elite. I don't like the distance, so I'm going to go for the person who's closest first, and then turn my attention to that elite. So I've picked my target, I move around. Luckily, I think this guy is reloading. He's looking down a sight line, and I'm able to get the kill. Straight away, just get the kill. I had the aim ready to be able to get that kill on him. Straight away, after that, I go up, I jump out of cover, because that person's going to look at where the explosion was, look at his teammate. I jump out and I get the kill on him. So nice little double there, very sweet, nothing too fancy. I actually switch out the weapon there, the fuel rod, and I get a nice little double kill with the rockets. I shouldn't have switched out the fuel rod for the rockets because the fuel rods was a bit better, but I did in that case. So something else happened there, you might have missed it. This is really where it comes into the fine details of Halo. So what did I do which is so special? Okay, so let's look at the reaction time. That's where I see him. I've already known he was on the radar. I didn't know what weapons he's got. So he isn't looking at me yet. He's aiming up to look at me. And I'm like, oh god, he's got a rocket. I see where he's aiming very quickly and I jump. I pick a direction and I decide I'm going to make sure I get away from this. He's going to hit the thing underneath me. Because I'm not too sure if you know the map. If we can just rewind it a little bit. We've got this platform, there's nothing really underneath it, so he's going to try and aim to hit the side of the platform and hit me, rather than just directly aim at me. That should be his goal. Or he could hit the side from his angle, which would be a bit easier for him to do. So he's going to try and hit the building behind me, or he's going to be trying to hit the platform which I'm standing on. So really my best option in this situation is actually to continue moving to the side, rather than duck back in, because he probably would be able to get the kill. I already approach and luckily I pick right because I see he's aimed at me and I see him aim towards the building and I kind of see this in a few frames. It's like, okay, he's going to shoot that way. So I jump away from the blast zone, nullifying the effects of what I would get if it was on the bridge and nullifying the effects of if I was to retreat backwards. And I'm able to keep shooting him and I'm able to secure a nice headshot with a battle rifle. Very good battle rifle in this. So here's another point here. You can't see him on the radar. There is an elite at the bottom corner. How long does it take me to react to that elite? It takes like about half a second for me to look and find that elite. As you can see here, my aim isn't the best, but I do fire, get some hit markers. He walks into it, and then he basically is able to get that shot off on me. I should have jumped at this point. It would have reduced the damage, but I felt that if I jumped, I would be unable to actually hit the elite. So I decided to run instead, feeling that I would be able to hit the perfect, and unfortunately I get caught here. But that's just showing some of the encounters that you can have. He had the better weapon in that case. He actually had more of a time to react to me. He could see me, but we reacted pretty quick. So we then spawned with a plasma pistol and rocket. The only weapon we can use is a rocket. That's the best one to use. We shoot that one, expecting it to kill. It doesn't. And that was easy for us. If you watch, we obviously missed him, and we see the radar. He's high up on the radar. We've got that little marker saying that he's above. And we're able to get the finish. A nice little convert on that one. So I can see where the enemies are moving around. And yeah, I'm basically just able to tell that the enemy's going to get to me at a certain point, and I'm able to use the weapons which I've got to be able to get those kills. So then, at that point, if I just go back, well, I might do it right there. I'm basically checking down sight lines. So sight lines are very important, especially if you've got a sniper. There could be an enemy over there. Just zooming in, preemptive. There's no enemy there, but I'm looking down just to make sure that on sight lines I'm watching that. Check that other area. I can hear where the explosions are all coming from. I know that the enemies must be in that direction because that's where all the explosions are coming from. Then we got the radar, and very crisp headshot there. I'll watch that in full speed. Yeah, you can actually see it once more. So when the enemy comes up, I zoom in, and I basically zoom in. That's my initial aim, and then I have a really small window to be able to correct myself, which I do there, and I'm able to land a headshot. Which is what I want to show you guys. There's actually, when I'm aiming, I do a bit of a correction. I've got that guy there, and I'm trying to mark out where he is. He's just beating me on predictions. And, you know, there's a bit of a sloppy kill, that one. I took too long to aim. I feel if you aim in for too long, you're going to miss. Don't know how that one missed, just unfortunate. So basically, at this point, I've got sniper and I'm standing back. I'm letting my team push up. I check my radar, I see that. I drop down. And that's something which I love about the energy sword in Halo 2 Anniversary. So at that point, he knows I've got sword. I know that all I need to do is stay where I am. He feels he's safe, and he feels he can get the kill. Hello. It's not safe. So I'm able to just get straight in his face and get back up on the ledge, which is why the sword is so great in this game. I'm able to see an enemy there. I'm able to get the headshot. I know that I've got some use in the sword. And this point was really silly. I saw he had a fuel rod, and I wanted to try and use my plasma grenades reflecting on it, but I went in with the sword anyway. And I'm just able to jump over it, more by judgment. I take the fuel rod. I'm able to finish that guy who had a shotgun because he had his back to me. He did turn around very quickly though. And yeah, that's basically that encounter there. It was really strange actually that I did go in. I got clustered then. Now, reflecting upon this, there wasn't anything I could see. I had a big old teammate in the way. And even at this point, there's one enemy who I can see. I see the enemy to the left who's shooting my teammates, but as I shoot that one guy, miss. Try and counter aim, miss, and then just get destroyed by some other weapons. So sometimes stuff like that happens. Sometimes you get yourself in a bad situation. I spawned with a sniper and a shotgun. Really good weapon to this. See an enemy, bang. Now, notice with the snipe here. Let's try and find a point where I saw the enemy. That's the point where I saw the enemy in like about a 20th of a second or something like that. I reacted and I pointed in at his chest. Now, what didn't I do? Well, let's hope I didn't do it. Yeah, I didn't do it there. I pointed it at the body. That doesn't look very good when I do it like that, but I pointed it at the body and pulled the trigger when his head came into the body. I let him drop rather than correct it. I might have been slowly moving it up. Jump, get the clean up on that one. Nothing too bad about that. But it just shows sometimes I think one of the best things you can do is when you're waiting to shoot somebody, and this is very important when sniping. A lot of people will see somebody who's running or like falling down and they'll aim for the head, and it's like aim for the body and then like pause and wait for the head to come up. That's what I do. I hear the sword at this point and I decide to bait it because I got shotgun. I pick up the sword because it's a superior weapon, and I see an enemy down there. Now, some people might say, why didn't I shoot? You know, I could get a clean shot, and I know that I can get a clean shot at this point, but it's not the cleanest one possible. I try and go for the snapshot. I wasn't too far off, but ultimately the reason that I didn't go for that shot is because I didn't feel confident. One of my top tips which I have is, if you don't feel confident, don't go for the shot. It's really simple, but a lot of people try and go for shots which they just clearly cannot make, which a top level player would really struggle to make. But they just go for it anyway, and you know, they waste a shot, they waste a kill opportunity. Happens all the time. So this one, I'm actually looking for the rocks. Not literally, but I'm using the radar to see where the enemy is, knowing my surroundings, know when he's approaching. He approaches, he jumps, which gets him a little bit of the jump on me, but he isn't in an aiming position to be able to kill me. He gets the kill. This is really where I've checked the radar. Now, I know that there's an enemy who's above me and there's an enemy who's on the same level. So I knew that at this point I was getting pinched. I did check it before, and we just rewind. So I knew enemies was approaching me because I had previously been in an encounter, and we missed it there. You know what, I'll just let it play out on itself. That is one of my favourite highlights, because obviously I pull my sword, I make sure I've kept that hidden from the enemy, otherwise he wouldn't advance. A lot of people pull it out too early. Pull it out, get the stab. I don't know where the enemy is, I know he's above me, I don't know where he's going to be, so I take a swing, and I want it to be that the hitbox is out long enough for this enemy to drop in and get him. I'm very lucky I get the kill. And then straight away I know where the other enemy is, I know where he's rotated around, so I hide behind the rocks. So whilst I'm hiding behind the rocks, I know that I've got no shields, I know that he's got a headshot weapon, he's got a carbine. So it's like, okay, I peek out to the side, I can see where he is on the radar, he's moved one way. I'm going to throw a grenade that way, and hopefully he moves that way. And he just didn't know what to do in that one, it happened in less than half a second. Then I get shot and I do something very cool. If you didn't see what I did there, my head's going to be exposed. It's exposed here, and I'm looking down at the ground, because that's making my Spartan's head tilt downwards, making it so it's more difficult for the enemy to be able to shoot me in the head. And that probably saved my life. Rather than run to the cave, I feel that it would be too open. They might be able to get a line of sight on me, so I hide behind this rock. My shields regenerate pretty quick after that. And then I use the map to jump up. I didn't see the enemy under there. I think I take a shot there, being a bit cocky. Look to the side, and it's like, okay, I've got sword, but I'm not going to be able to switch it out with how quickly I'm dying. And this is where I actually die. I should have got that snapshot on him by the looks of it, but teammates able to clean up the enemy there. I spawn with a fuel rod on needle, a very good weapon combo again, more so for the fuel rod. And I saw an enemy to my right, but there is something which you missed, and it's easy to miss on this point. So I actually saw 3 enemies, one when I spawned, and that's the point. I see that enemy all the way in the background, and I look straight at him, and it's like, okay, I know what you're doing, I know where you're aiming. I see an enemy in the background there, and I'm like, can I help with that kill? No, I'm getting shot. Let's advance on the enemy who I want to. That enemy is looking away from me, I take a shot and miss. I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to approach this guy? Am I going to peek my head around the corner and immediately get sniped? No, I'm going to do this. Bit of a strange play. I kind of regretted it. I've gone around there, and I feel that like he's to my left. So I think I just, go around the corner, see him, jump up. He looks at me, he's not aiming high enough, so I jump so he can't get the shot. And then I try and aim through here as well, and it's like, oh well, I can't do that. But I feel that the water made him feel safe, so it might have been a good play. I see somebody down there looking at the appropriate lanes, and yeah, what we mentioned before. I didn't take the shot when I could have just damaged him. So I'm aiming at him there, and then that slight adjustment for it to be a headshot. Just a slight adjustment is what gave me that kill so crisp. Saw an enemy there, and he ran away, took the shot. That's just a reaction of it. Easy to miss. He just came on the radar very quickly. He was basically covered behind my radar, blue on blue. I took a shot, saw the immediate threat, got shot right in the face, but I just reacted to him. And this goes back to when I was talking about looking left and right. This is the way you test it. Straight on the center, perfect sensitivity for me. Got the kill, and I reload that weapon. Easy to miss it if you just like thinking chill. Make sure you check the radar in these games. You know, I'm looking around, looking at sight lines, and I check the radar, see that. Didn't know he had a sword. Most players would have died, and I teabag at that point because it's like, I got you. So I go up here. I do a very silly play, but it works out. I go for the ninja, missed, but then get the next hit. And unfortunately get killed there. If I had got the weapon out a little bit quicker, I might have been able to get a trade. But yeah, I went for a ninja there. Sometimes you just want to do a high play. I was feeling myself. You saw me teabagging. I do what I think was the right play there. Probably was. I rotated around him, put him in an awkward situation. Did some jumps. This is an interesting part, because obviously I'm trying to track my shots to match him in speed. Enemy gets up behind me, I hear a sword, and I'm straight away turned around. Good sensitivity as well. I fire a blind shot there. Or not really a blind shot, I can see where the enemy is. I'm able to hit an enemy from doing that. So I saw that I broke someone's shields there. So I switched to battle rifle. Didn't fire. The battle rifle was out too soon, so I didn't fire because I've been used to Halo 5. Then shot this guy to BR instead. It's like, oh god. I fired down there because I knew the enemy, I thought the enemy was still down there, I hoped. And then, yeah. And I think I missed a guy who was right behind that rock as well, and jumped off the cliff for the finale, and that's me. So, yeah. Basically, that's what I was doing in a game, and that's me playing competitively. There's a lot more things that you can pick apart on that, like map movement, how do I rotate around the map. That was basically a 6-minute game. I thought it was interesting to pick apart and look at some of the stuff which I'm doing. And often people don't realise how they're playing, and they don't realise what they can do to get better. So really, here's the tips which I'm going to make. The main body one as well, if you're aiming at somebody and they're dropping, wait for their head to get into the hitbox. Don't take shots that you don't need to take. You know, wait till you can get a kill on that, wait till you can confirm it. You'll see me in BTB track somebody for a bit before I actually take a shot. That's just because I want to make sure they haven't got any cover nearby that they can optimize. So do stuff like that, it's really helpful. And just try and make sure you sort out your sensitivity. 90, not 90, maybe 90, 80% of your gunfights will be won solely because you have a comfortable sensitivity and controller scheme, or setup, sorry. I've got a nice setup there. It feels very smooth to be able to use it. I'm able to get really crisp shots. I'm able to really just like aim in on the opponent and hit them, to lock onto them. And once you're in the zone, once you're not worried about like, where am I looking here, am I looking there, you'll be looking all over the place when you're playing games, and you have to understand there's going to be things you miss. Even in that game where I saw everyone, you know, if there was about 5 more minutes of that game, or you know, 10 more seconds, I would have walked past that guy, and the end he might have been able to get a back smack on me. So yeah, that's really what my tip is. Make sure you look at sensitivity. I don't know what you guys thought of this. Maybe seeing how I play might inspire you to try and be a little bit better. I'm not too sure if I'm the top level, but I know that I'm pretty decent when it comes down to it. And obviously this was a casual game, but this does show things like sniping, it does show things like power weapon control, and most importantly, like when you're using a power weapon, how you lock onto that person with something like the fuel rod. Great weapon to be able to try out, stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit different compared to the normal videos which we make. This has been like about a 6-minute clip, 6.5 minute clip, and I know that we've been going on for longer than 6.5 minutes. So I do thank you guys, and yeah, hopefully you want to see more videos like this. Hopefully it's been good for you, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out, and enjoy the rest of your day.